Deep in a bustling Indian village, two tailors work side by side on a narrow street. To the left is Ramu, moving at a breathless pace. To the right is Somu, working with a quiet, deliberate precision. Ramu operates on a simple belief that success is a direct result of physical endurance. He starts work before dawn and refuses to pause, even taking his tea while his hands continue to push the needle. He treats rest as an enemy and exhaustion as a requirement. The locals look at Ramu and see the ultimate model of dedication. They romanticize his visible suffering, equating his sweat and long hours with an inevitable path to prosperity. Somu approaches the exact same trade differently. He spends mornings organizing his tools, mapping out his fabric cuts, and scheduling times to stop working. Because Somu sometimes closes his shop early and maintains a steady pace, the village assumes he lacks ambition. They mistake his strategic planning for a lack of drive. This bias toward praising visible physical effort often blinds us to the value of how a system is designed. We see the sweat, but we miss the strategy. The limits of these two methods are tested when a wealthy merchant arrives with a massive order, 300 identical shirts, required in exactly 30 days. The winner will secure all of the merchant's future business. Ramu accepts the wealthy merchant's challenge immediately. His solution to this massive jump in scale is to double down on his current habits, vowing to eliminate sleep and work through the night. Somu, however, asks for a 24-hour delay. He refuses to touch a single piece of fabric until he has analyzed the logistics of the project. This merchant's demand changes the stakes for both shops. With the requirements suddenly ballooning, each tailor's existing habits are about to be pushed to their breaking point. As the days pass, Ramu's workflow begins to deteriorate. Sleep deprivation causes his hands to shake and his measurements to drift, leading him to ruin expensive fabric. Look at the cycle of the brute force trap. Hours worked drives fatigue, spiking the error rate. Mistakes trigger reworking, draining actual output. By day 20, the loop becomes a dead end. Despite working more hours, progress stalls far below the needed threshold. During his delay, Somu took a different path. He invested his capital in an upgraded heavy-duty sewing machine and meticulously recalculated his cutting patterns to eliminate wasted cloth. He also hired an assistant to handle the repetitive tasks, prepping, folding, and sorting. This protected Somu's own time for the complex, high-value stitching. This setup maps out Somu's efficiency. An assistant handles simple tasks. Upgraded tools boost speed, maintaining a zero error rate. Every hour worked translates directly into finished shirts. The system absorbs the deadline pressure, crossing the 300-unit goal by day 25. While an optimized system scales with demand, a system that is based solely on brute individual effort eventually fractures under the weight of its own errors. On deadline day, Somu delivers pristine stacks of identical shirts. Ramu stands defeated in his shop, surrounded by a pile of incomplete, flawed garments. Ramu is devastated, struggling to understand how he failed when he objectively outworked Somu in sheer hours and physical sacrifice. Somu offers a simple perspective. A strong sickle is useless if swung blindly into the dirt. Effort without direction is just wasted kinetic energy. Somu's strategy acted as a force multiplier. By creating a system that prevented fatigue and errors, he ensured that every ounce of his effort resulted in progress rather than correction. Instead of remaining rivals, the two men merged their resources to create a single operation. The new business thrives by aligning two different strengths. Ramu's immense physical drive now powers Somu's strategic workflow, allowing them to handle a volume of orders that was previously impossible. Seeing the success of the partnership, the village finally realizes that their initial praise for Ramu's suffering was only seeing half the picture. Enduring productivity is the result of a specific equation. It requires the weight of intense effort, but that effort must be placed inside an intelligent design to have any real impact.